Good evening, guys. Welcome to another live stream here on the Aviator 268 channel. We are back on the very first day of the new year. So a happy new year. Shout out to everybody who's joined the stream today. Happy new year to you. It is 2025. We've made it thus far. If you believe in God, we want to give God thanks and praise that we are alive yet again for another day, another year. So yeah, we're gonna make it a good one here on the channel. We are sitting at the gate right now. I have one of my friends joining me today on the flight to Haneda. So we're gonna have fun. So I'm hoping that you will get your popcorn, get your favorite thing to do, your favorite rocking chair. If you got that. We're still in the Christmas season, so we're gonna enjoy ourselves as we do this flight. We're in the 777-300 from Pmdg, and as you see right here, we are in this magnificent plane. It is an early morning flight out of Fukuoka, and so we are going to be flying a day flight for just about an hour and a little bit. So it's not going to be a very long flight at all. So it won't keep you too long as you view this beautiful airplane from Pmdg, one of the high fidelity airplanes in the sim. Once we get airborne, we'll talk about some more planes that are coming to the sim, and we'll get on the way. So just waiting to see if my friend's gonna come online real quick. Let me find out where he is. So enjoy the view. I'll talk to you in just a moment. Alright guys, we're gonna jump into the flight deck now, and let's see what's going on here. I should have the door open. The door. So this is the cabin for the aircraft real quick. I would have updated GSX, so I'm hoping that I don't have any issues where that is concerned, because it's gonna look really bad that I literally just did that and we have pink passengers. But let's press on and see where we're gonna get at. So let's get back to the flight deck. Of course, we can have a look to see what's going on in the rest of the cabin once we get ourselves ready and set up. All right, cool. There we go. Let's go over to the panel and we turn on the battery switches, and we have external power, so we'll turn that on. Going through a little bit of flow, we will just turn on the ADRUs, get that set up. Emergency lights are armed and everything else is good. We'll leave the packs off as we have the low pressure air on the outside, so we'll leave that as it is. Everything's set up. Now we just gotta wait a little bit for the aircraft to do its self-test. Once it does that within the next 40 seconds or so, then the aircraft will come alive. While we're waiting on that to happen, let's go to the EFB and we will request data from SimBrief. We have already done our flight planning over there on SimBrief, which makes it easier for us to get ourselves set up quick, fast, in a hurry. It kind of simulates what a dispatch does. So dispatch will get, all we got to do is just get to the airport, go to the crew room, and we will get our flight plan. So this is the flight plan right here. And so we can definitely see what we'll be doing today. But we get a synopsis in the flight details right here, so we can do that as we get set up. So we're flying Japan Air 304, and I'm kind of stalling just a little bit just so I can get my other colleague to get online. So not stalling in a sense, but just going through these things that I normally won't do, but just so we get a sense of what's happening here. All right, so we're doing Japan 304, and our aircraft type is Juliet Alpha 732 Juliet, and is a Boeing 300 77W, and we're going from Fukuoka to Tokyo Haneda. Our cost index is 110. We should have a zero fuel weight of 193 tons. And the route distance is approximately 567. Now that can change depending on what we're going to put into our FMC shortly. All right, so look at the departure. We have in Fukuoka winds 150 at 4. Visibility very clear. Peak clouds at 3000. Temperature is 30, and now we have our aircraft coming to life, so all the screens are now active. That star in the background means that the aircraft is almost ready to go. QNH 1012, so we're going to set that in right now. QNH is 1012, 1022. Right, so that sets, and we'll leave everything else as we go through. Cool. And for our arrival, as it stands right now, the wind's 290 at 5. Good visibility, fuel clouds at 3000 as well, and temperature is 4. It's pretty cold down there. QNH is 1016, and there's no significant weather, which is good. So it's a beautiful day for flying. Beautiful day for flying today. All right, let's take a look at our flight plan. So we are Japan 304. Today is January 1, 2025. Going from Fukuoka to Tokyo Haneda, and our cost in today's flight is 110. Ground distance is 567. Air distance is 421, and our zero fuel weight is estimated at 193 tons, and our estimated takeoff weight is 210 tons. Well within the aircraft limit, so we have no issues there. We have 7 passengers in first class, 46 in business, 38 in the premium economy, and 135 in the economy. Trip fuel today, we have a block fuel of 18 tons, and that will give us trip fuel of 8.2 tons, which is 1 hour and 6 minutes. So alternate to Nagoya, 6 tons, and final reserves is 2.9 tons. All right, so our trip plus taxi is 8.8 tons, and then our final reserve plus the alternate is 8.8 tons. That's just about 18.3 right there. All right, let's see if we have any information here. Our route today is the Yokota 5 Yanks, Yankee 235 to Flute, Yankee 23 to Arctic, Yankee 71 to Zach, or X-Ray Alpha Charlie VOR, then that will the arrival into Haneda. So let's check out those departure and arrival right now. So we go to airport and familiarize ourselves with that as well. If you haven't already done so, guys, if you will, I'd really appreciate it. It would really help the channel to like and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss the next time that we go live. I really do appreciate that, guys. You are really helping out the channel, and I am grateful for your support. Once again, welcome. Happy New Year to all of you who are just joining. We are grateful to be alive yet another day. Right, so we go to our SID, which is the YOCAT 5. We will pin that, and we're going to pin the, let's see, the departure today is going to be runway 16. So we will pin the ILS 16, just in the event that we have to come back. Then for the arrival, the airport as well is what we're going to pin. And that is going to be chart 10-9, and we also want to have the taxi restrictions for the 300, and also we want to have the parking spots. For the star, we're using the X-ray Alpha Charlie. Let's see where that is. Why am I not seeing it? X-ray Alpha Charlie, where are you? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so it is Yoshima 1 Alpha. There we go. So this is it right here. Cool. All right, and the approach we're going to be using, it is the ILS runway 3. Let's see, 34 left, I believe it is. Yes. So let's check that. ILS X-ray or Zulu. I think it's Zulu we'll be using. Yes, we use the Zulu. ILS Zulu 34 left. All right, so we have all of our charts pinned so we can get to them quickly. So let's do a briefing real quick. Oh, let's have the aircraft a little bit more. Okay, cool. So in the overhead panel now, we have everything set. So we need to go to the FMC and we will let the airplane know where we are. So we're going to type in Romeo Juliet Foxtrot Foxtrot, and we're at stand 58. Let's see if this takes it. Yes, it does. Pop that in here and you will see what happens on the navigational display. Pop that in and everything comes alive. Good, nice. Go to our route page and we're gonna go to request route, request, and we're going to request the route. I'm gonna request the fuel. Pmdg did not do like what the 777 did. 737 does, and I kind of like on the 737 where you can refuel while you're doing that. It kind of gives it, well, to be fair, Pmdg has this automated ground up, so I would be able to do it there if I were using that, but I'm using GSX, so that would not be as convenient as I would like it to be. Nevertheless, we move on from that. So we select the route and we're going to have the aircraft pull that in, and as it's requesting that, we will just wait until it says it's available, requested, and then we're gonna import it. All right, so we're going to load it now. Route 1 is uplink loading. Great, so it's ready. So as we see here, the flight number as well would have auto populated, as well as the company route. I could have typed the company route and it would have brought up this information as well. So the first thing we're going to do is go to route, departure and arrivals, departing runway 116. And we're using the YOCAT 5 and via the, let's see, go back to our using the yanks, see if that's in there. There we go, yank. Then we go back to index and arrival, and we're landing using ILS only one correction, ILS 304, the Zulu, ILS Zulu, and we're using the Oshima 1 Alpha, and that tells us that we need to be where? So we're coming in via the Oshima VOR. Oshima 1 Alpha brings us around to Anzac, 45, 450, 451, 452, Wanda to Kaiho. I wonder if we should use Ireland. So we're using Ireland as that. So let's see, go out to route, legs, and we have Ireland to green. Great. So we can check now by going to the plan page and walking through. And that looks just about right. So we will go ahead and remove cream and click Ireland and go direct to the runway, and that. Back to map mode, and we can activate this and execute, and our flight is ready. Set the MCP by setting the heading for the runway. Let's see what that heading is. Heading off of the runway is 154. Cool. All right, so we can now do the briefing. So today's flight, we're doing the Fukuoka from stand 58. So what we're going to do is we'll push out the gate and we will face south from, or actually face north, depending on what GS is going to do. We could face north and then make Charlie 5, and we will enter and backtrack runway 16. All right, so we push back and we'll take Mike down to Charlie 9 and hold short. Our departure is going to be the Yokat 5 RNAV, and based on that, we are going to depart off of 16, so climb heading 158 at or above 500, then direct to Umaka at or below flight level 200, then to Yokat at or above 10,000, and then via the Yanks from Yokat to at or above 10,000 to Koza at or above flight level 140, to Braid at or above flight level 170, to Luffy, to Chop, to Sanji, to Yank. All right, and the transition altitude is 140. So pretty much we take off and we will take it off towards the south. So south towards Umaka, then left following Young Cats, then to Koza, Braid, and then via Luffy, Chop, Sanji, then to Yanks, and then we'll continue with our flight. Alright, so for the rest of the departure briefing, once we push back and start up, we will start using sequence 1 and then 2. Push out the gate, taxi down via Mike. On the runway, once we get the departure at or below 80 knots, we will stop for any ICAP actions that will not cause the aircraft to fly. Between 80 knots and V1, we stop only for any engine fire. One is that will come up on the ICAS. And then at above V1, we are coming to the takeoff. We will climb straight ahead Once we clear 500 feet, we will make a left turn. The MSA for this airport is 5,000, so we'll have to come to 5,000. Then we will come back around, and if we are able to, we don't need to dump any fuel because we're below our max landing weight. We will make a left, come downwind, and then return to the field. Once we stop between V0 and V1, we will close the thrusters, stop on the runway. Assess the situation. If we can, we will then taxi off the runway and then back to the gate. Otherwise than that, we will continue as normal. So that is our departure briefing, and if nobody has any questions, we are good to go. All right, so we have our fuel on board. We can go ahead now and start boarding. So we'll call GSX to do its thing. So we're gonna see what in the world. Okay, so you see all these different things. Why are they on the carriage of the airplane? GSX is something else, guys. GSX is something else. I guess I'll need to change this particular profile. This should not be under the cap. Look, going to my wheel and stuff. Oh well. What is going on? One of the things that we like about the new update for GSX, for you guys who are flying on the Microsoft Simulator 2020, GSX would have updated and created these bad boys, which they are wing walkers. Generally, we will only have the guy at the front, the one who's actually talking right now, and setting up the aircraft for, so this guy right here, he will be the only one that's there. But that's not what happens in the real world. In the real world, we have wing walkers. Those are the persons that ensure that the wing is clear, especially when we're pushing back. So it is good to see that GSX would have done that. Makes it for a better realistic stuff. So we're happy for GSX. Go GSX. We can do a little walk around. So when you get out of the airplane, you start here, look at the static ports, make sure everything is free and clear. We also look for the, let's see, make sure this is also clear, this outflow valve. We look all the way up and make sure that our static wicks as well, all ports are free and clear and nothing is in them. Then we come down here to the wheel nose gear. Got to make sure that there's no hydraulic leak, nothing is on the ground. So this looks pretty good. We have the gear pin that's in there. Don't think that's where it's supposed to go really, but hey, we appreciate where it's at. All right, looks good in the wheel well. Come to the next side, we look up and make sure our static ports are clear on this side as well. Our angle of attack and our probe, those are clear. Then we have the external power unit right here. Make sure that hatch is closed. Look at the back of the wheel. And these are the different gadgets that are on here. So make sure all of those are set good and we're good to go. Then we will walk around all of this here and we will check our engine. Don't want to be in their way. So we'll look at engine blades, make sure that everything is looking like it's supposed to. The sensor is up there and everything looks nice and clean here. Great. Check our wheels. Make sure these are good. They look pretty new. And I think because I would have just done an installation for this airplane, you're not going to see any wear and tear for right now, but that's alright. Go around and make sure the engine is still good. That's cool. And we look up at the wings to make sure that there are no dents. Nav light is working as it should. Wing looks good. And we check at the back here to make sure that we have enough brakes for our flight. So we look for these pins. And those 2 pins right here. So right here, this is what we check to make sure that we have enough. Alright, so these 2 pins are what we look to make sure that once they're being used, they're going to gradually go down, and Pmdg has modeled it such that it shows when there's brake usage. So once they are used, once we use this airplane over and over, probably the next time that we use this airplane, we'll see these move just a little. So I guess you can check back once you use this airplane sometime in the future. Probably use this a bit more just so you can see that wear and tear for that. So the wheel looks good. We continue on, making sure the aircraft looks fine. Those are the large doors there. The APU hasn't started yet, so we don't hear any noise, but we have our tail skid. We look at our wing to make sure that there isn't anything out there. All our static rigs are in place. Huge stabilizer. So that's set. And then we simply just do the same thing on the left side of the airplane. Make sure all these ports are not blocked. Check to make sure that this wheel as well has enough brake. And it seems like it does. Check the wheels, kick the tires, make sure that they're good. Check the wings, make sure that these are doing alright. We check over on that side, we have our lights, red navigation lights going on here. Hello. We check our engine cowling, make sure everything is good. Check inside the blades to make sure that they're good and they look fine to me. So that's pretty good. So we just did our walk around, guys. So now it's time to get back into the airplane. So let's jump back in. All right, cool. So let's see if we have pink passengers or our passengers are where they are. Let's see. All right, great. So we don't have pink passengers and they are boarding. A couple of them are in the business class cabin. Good morning. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Great. So that's all good. We can check with them as we go through the flight. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So let's finish setting up the flight. We are done with the walk around. We have a good ship. Next, we go to our route page, perfect it, and we're going to reject all of that. Our flight level for today's flight should be flight level 370. Let's double check. Altitude is 370. So 370, and it's 110. 8.8. As a matter of fact, let's not do that. Let's do 5.9 plus 5.9 plus 1, so that's 6.9. 6.9 is our reserves, and our zero fuel weight is 193.2. 193.2. I'm hoping this is the same. Yes, 193.3 is what we have. This, that's good, close enough. And we now have that in there. Let's go to our performance tool. Import. And with 193.2, 193.3, let's just put that in. So 211.7 or 211.6, and we're gonna leave it at optimum. Import the weather. 140 at 4, temperature is 3, nice and cool outside, and we calculate. Oh, airport 16 is our departure, and we calculate. Flaps 5, takeoff 2, select temperature is 46. So flap 5, takeoff 2, select temperature 46, flap 5. And we have 141, 146, 153. All those are set, and our CG is 31 with a 444. So we have 153, and we will set that in the speed limit. 153, and we can arm the put on the flight directors, and we can arm LNAV and VNAV, and we're good to go. So let's turn on the seat design, and we'll start the APU, and we can go outside and listen to that start up. So there we have the flap now open, and we can listen for the APU starting. Wondering why this is still stuck here. Alright, APU is up. Let's see if we have our friend online as yet. Nope, he is not. Well, we're still gonna just admire this airplane. Still have a few passengers, 126 of 226. But we still have just a little bit of time. So guys, how are you guys doing? What's going on? Feel free to say hello in the chat, say where you're from and all of that. Be a little bit more interactive, that's fine. Rather than just hear me talking all the time. Feel free to talk with me. I do not bite. So we can run our Sky4 Gate 2. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, there we go. He is online. He is all the way over there in a 737. All right. Cool. So he's over there, guys. So we're still boarding. So Jamal, you could just we'll still board. You started boarding, is it? So we can run the before start checklist or the pre-flight checklist. Set the parking brake. Parking brake is set. Oxygen is tested 100%. Heading is 158. Altimeter is 1022, and that is cross check. So the pre-flight checklist is complete. And we can change this to 6534. So A car is running in the wet code. Great. So we already done our trust. We can go to our legs page, root data, and we can load the wins and our VNav to forecast and load the B7. All right, great. So our FMC is loaded up. We can switch that to RTO. So we are ready to go. We're on APU now, so we can get rid of the external power. So once we get the passengers on, we will be on our way. So ground equipment, and we go to all ground connections, release the ground power and release the air conditioning. And we have a good airplane here. Why is this thing still there? I guess I'm gonna have to reset GSX. I hope not. I don't know why. We just have to push without it. All right, so we close the cargo door. Oh, that was the forward. Let's see if that's going to move from the door. Okay, so we're having a problem. Okay, we're gonna have to just reset GSX because that's not making any sense right about now. We want to close the aft door. Trying to figure out why my doors are opening and closing like that. Okay, so the front closed. Right, that's good. Let's see if the back is gonna close as well. Close. Alright, good. So we just have to push back and pretend that that thing is already gone. Alright. At least those are closed. Cool. Alright, so we have APU running and we can now turn on the pack since we don't have the low pressure air coming anymore. So the packs are now operating and we have sufficient air flow going to the passenger. Alright. We're just waiting for our passengers to get on board. We have 199 or 226, so we're almost ready to go. Almost ready to go. Hey, what's going on, Scheme B? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, man, you can come through, man. Come. Matter of fact, you have plenty space right here in the what do you call it? In business class. So you have plenty space. So come through. Plenty space in business class. So you're good. All those on the chat, you can come right up front. Get yourself started. You got Couple window seats still available. You know, we don't do middle seats. We don't do middle seats unless absolutely necessary. But we have some window seats still available. So feel free to come through. Feel free to come through. Yo, what's up, Akeem? Just a couple more passengers to go. We have 215 out of 226. So we are getting ready to head out just now. Beautiful morning out here in Fukuoka. It is bright and early. What are the doors doing open? Why? What's happening? Okay, I'm just gonna have to reset GSX. I don't know what's going on, guys. I really don't know what's going on. Why my doors are back open again. We need these doors to be closed, man. Something's wrong. GSX sometimes has this issue where it just goes berserk. So we just have to start it. All right, 226, just about ready. So let's get ourselves ready. And we're on 122.8. No, we're not. So we need to set 122.8 and switch that. Make sure that we are on. Let's do a radio check. Fukuoka traffic to Japan 304. Radio check.
5x5.
Roger, thank you so much. All right, so we got 5x5 and we are ready to go. We're going to set flight level 200 in the top here. And now that we're all set, at least I hope so. No, we're not, because these things are still open. All right, so I'm going to reset GSX because this ain't making no sense to me. Let's go ahead and overhead and turn on. Get ourselves ready. Turn on electrical pumps. Is it ready to check you talking to? Yeah. Real people, man. Real people. Real people talking. All right. Doors can close now. We will talk to the flight attendants later and get our doors closed. All right, so we have that set and we can go into the flight control and we're gonna set 4 is already set, so we're good to go. All right, beacon coming on and let's do the before start checklist. Flight door is closed and lock. MCP is V2153 heading 158, flight level 200. Takeoff speed is 141, 146 and 153. CD pre-flight is complete. Trim is 4 units and 0 and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing is completed. Beacon is on and the checklist is complete. Cool. So let's now arm all these doors. Doors are armed and we can now go ahead and switch to the ground so we can see where we are. So we push back and we will face south. Wait a second. Oh no, push back and face north. So I had to redo that. So just to revamp, so we push back facing north, we taxi via Quebec, then Quebec hold short Charlie 1 for runway 16. I was doing runway 34. All right, that's good that we just checked it out. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and request pushback. So let's call the RAM and let them know we are ready for a push. Nope, we don't need the icing because it's not raining. We want nose to the right. We need to remove our chocks. And there we go. Alright, so we are ready to go now. And we're gonna watch those wing walkers as we check them out. All right, so let's make that announcement. Fukuoka traffic, Japan 304, push and start from gate 58, Fukuoka traffic. All right, so we're going to release the brakes, parking brakes are released, and we will start the timer. All right, so our engine start sequence is going to be 1 and then 2. So since we can do the auto start, I'm going to let you hear the aircraft start from outside. So we're going to start engine number 1 and we're going to flick the switch and then go outside. Pay no attention to that cart. Oh my goodness, pay no attention to it. Alright, there we go. So we have the wing walkers on the outside like they would be in real life. There we go. That makes sense. And let's listen to that. I'll turn the music down so we can hear the engine start up. Nice. So it's just angle pushback. That works too. So we're just going to set our parking brakes. So parking brakes are set and we can start engine number 2. And we'll watch again from the outside. These massive engines. And guys, if you didn't know, so I'm glad my friend is using the 737. So if you can see that aircraft over there, that's his aircraft way over there. His nose, his fuselage can fit in this engine. That's how huge this engine is. Once you get to the runway, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. That's how big these engines are. There are some huge engines. Well, that's a picture of it right there. Yes, sir. Remove the bypass pit. So you just doing that right is clear, left is clear, so we are cleared. And he's gonna wave to us. Because of course when we're sitting from up here, we can't see him while he's talking, so we'll have to wait until he gets in front there, waves to us. So we can see him from sitting here. You turn around anytime now, sir. There we go. And he waves, and I'm just gonna flash our light just to let him know that we see him. And we're good to go. When walker number 2 and when walker number 1. All right, great. So we see you guys next time through. All right, so we do the after start checklist. Let's do that after start flow. We can turn off the APU. And let's go through. After start checklist is the anti-ice is not required. Recall is checked. And then we'll do our flight controls. Rudder left, rudder right, fully left, fully right, fully back, fully forward. And we can do that outside so you get to see what's going on. Rudder left, rudder right, rudder left, and right, fully up, and fully down. So our flight controls are checked. And auto brake is RTO, ground equipment is clear before taxi checklist is complete. Cool. Now we'll take the flaps and we'll listen for the flaps to come down. Yes, sir. Slats coming in the front, and we have 5 degrees of flaps. Just what you'll hear in the real world. All right, so we're good to go. So like we said, we're gonna make a right turn and we're gonna taxi up towards Gulf, Quebec to Charlie 1. Here we go. Google traffic, Japan 304. Taxi runway 16 via Gulf, Quebec, Charlie 1, hold short runway 16. So we get our taxi lights on and our runway turn off lights. Get ready to go. Give some breakaway thrust. And we'll start our turn. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Japan Air 304. This is your captain speaking. We are taxiing to the runway at this time. We are choosing the airline. It's a cool morning. Flight time is about an hour and we'll have you on the ground as soon as possible. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Flight attendants prepare aircraft for departure. Alright, cool. So we are taxiing now. Let's see where our friend is. Can't see him in here. That's not cool. Is that him? Yes, still in there. Sky 4 radio check.
Still here, 555.
Alright, we're on taxi now.
Alright, we just closed enough.
Roger. Alright, so Sky 4 is getting ready to push off the gate just now. So we will meet him at the front there. Alright, so make a right here on Quebec. Feeling we should have. Alright, well, we can follow here, that's fine. The main taxi is here. Alright, cabin is ready, so that is good to go. In some cases, you have the cabin. What is going on? Okay, we can't do that. We got to turn around. Okay, so this is the difference in scenery. Alright, cool. So we gotta turn around, guys, because that is not a taxiway that can take us to the runway. Cool. Let's use differential. Get some help here so we can increase our right thrust. Get us spun back around, and we're going to exit via that intersection right there. Yeah, so this is not an actual taxiway, which is what we saw. So we have to actually join it from out here. Happens sometimes. So we make a left out here and join the taxiway out here. So this is actually Quebec indeed. but I guess this is the main taxiway here, but that's not what it's showing. Nevertheless, we'll use our eyes, not charts. So we'll join November. That's weird. Cleared right, cleared left. All right, we've cleared out the ramp area. Now we can turn on our weather radar. And we'll just recap our departure. So we're departing off of runway 16 via the Yacht 5 Alpha. Let's get the chart up.
Local traffic to Denmark 4, pushing start. Local traffic.
We'll make a straight out departure to Amaka and left turn and fly plan route. Between 0 and 80 knots, we will stop only for any ECAM warning that's going to cause a plane to be unflyable. Between 80 and V1, we only stop for engine fire or anything that comes up on the ECAS that will cause the plane to become unflyable. And above V1, we are coming to takeoff. We will climb to 5,000, which is the minimum safe altitude for this airport. And we will make any decisions that we need to make and come back around should we need to, because we are below our max landing. All right, if there are no questions, then our departure briefing is complete and we are just about ready to go. Before takeoff prep, we have flaps 5 and 5 sets. Before takeoff checklist is complete. We're going to pause here for our friend and put on the taxi lights, put on the brake. Let's check something here on this chart. This is just weird. Aha. Right, so the chart is saying that this is what it's supposed to be, but we're using this. Okay, that's different. Right, no problem at all. We're here at the runway, so we're good to go. Sky mark is now off the gate. Looking on the right side. Oh, this is nice. You guys have to notice by now, I really like these shots. They look really nice. Yeah, buddy. If you're just joining, welcome. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. We're just waiting for Sky Marks to get that, and you can take a picture of our friend right over there. Happy days, looking good. Hopeful that those of you joining, you're having a good day so far. It's first day of 2025, and I pray that all of your heart's desires will come true. Of course, you need to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. You can't be lazy. Make sure you do what you got to do. Gotta help yourself, right? While we're here, to just give you as well, join the Discord channel. That is where we can interact with each other beyond the screen. You could also suggest flights if you want to see us go to your hometown or some particular flight you want. Feel free to let me know. You can do that in the comments or type !Discord. Get the Discord link and you can join Discord. and definitely talk with me there. Looking forward to see you as we go through 2025. Just waiting on the Skymark 737 to finish his pushback and start up procedure. Then we will to position and get out of the pool.
Go for traffic. Denmark 4, taxiing runway 16, 4 Echo 2. Go for traffic.
Go for traffic is ready to go. Alright, so we will taxi up. We will continue to hold. We can get ourselves ready to go into position. So remember, like I said, in terms of the size to the engine, I'll let you see that once he gets closer. Parking brake is released, and we will continue our taxi. Brake with us, and we are off. We'll go over traffic at Japan 304, runway 16. We are clear to the left and clear right. Alright, so let's see here. You guys, you see that? Look at this side. Oh, wait, I'll do this. I did too many things at the same time. But you saw what that looked like a while ago. So literally, his fuselage can fit right in my engine. Huge, huge, huge engines, man. Huge turbo. Alright, let's get the show on the road. We are good to go. Let's go. Lights coming on, strobe lights on, and let's go. Start the timer. Advance the throttles. Pressure on the yoke. 40%. Toga. Let's go. We'll go with traffic 304, takeoff runway 16. Keep the center line as much as possible. 80 knots, throttle hold.
Full traffic, Denmark 4, landing up runway 160, departing 167.
V1, rotate. And we'll positive rate, gear up. Look at that, guys. Google traffic, Japan 304, clear runway passing 1,700, climb maintain file number 370, John D. Open 5 departure. Google traffic. Alright, let's engage autopilot, and we'll allow the aircraft to fly itself. And we'll retract the flaps on schedule. Flaps 1. That is a beautiful sight out the window. So like we were talking about the departure, if we had an engine failure or anything of the sorts, we'd have to make sure we climb up to 5,000 feet because of all of this terrain. Make sure we clear all of that before we get up. Flaps up. So it's important that when you're flying that you are mindful of what your terrain is, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're going to have challenges. Good, so we have this is what you call close living. This city is, look at that. You have these people live this crazy. It's so populated. Wow. The aircraft is on autopilot. We're going to make a left turn shortly and continue flying on the departure out of Fukuoka. Right, so we're climbing up to 9,000 now, and we will cross 10,000 and turn off the landing lights and run the after takeoff checklist. There's 10,000 landing lights coming off, and we run the after takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist is complete. Once we have the checks, we don't need to say it. It's already done. Aircraft can sense that these things are complete, so it is good to go. So we are to cross Umaka below flight level 200. We're now at 11,000, so we're right below that. 6 miles to go, so we wouldn't have a problem where that is concerned. And then we continue our climb up to flight level 370. Where we will cruise on our way to Tokyo Haneda. Take a look at the wing left turn dipping. Yes, sir. If you don't like flying, I'm really sorry. It's actually I'm not sorry, but flying is such a good thing. You get to experience all the different things you can see from above. It's just a beautiful sight, man. Just imagine being 30,000 feet in the air and looking at the earth. It is a spectacular sight. And Microsoft Flight Simulator has captured some of these. Alright, crossing 14,000, so we will go standard set and we will continue climbing onto Vinyl 370. Once we get the cruise, we'll have a little chat about what's going on in the sim world right now, and we will be sure to fill you in as much as possible, but at least with the things that we're concerned about. This camera's not working. Oh well, you can store that. That's crazy. Okay. At least the captain side is working, so we're good. That's fine. Ryzen 240, now going to Vinyl 370. We are getting up there. We are already blasting. Our ground speed is 555. And we're not even at cruise yet, so that is pretty good. That means we're gonna get there quick, fast, and in a hurry, so that is good. Light and the seat. Of course, once again, if you haven't already done so, guys, please subscribe. It is gonna help the channel quite a bit. You can also share it with your friends and those who are probably interested in aviation. Come by and see what we're doing here on the channel. Hopefully in 2025 we'll be able to put some more in terms of the uploading for that. Given my job, it's sometimes a little bit challenging, but we're gonna try. We're gonna do our best here in 2025. According to one of the phrases I heard this weekend was 2025 we're gonna thrive, so we're gonna thrive on some good positivity going on right over here. So we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Upload a bit more, do a bit more streams, especially with the upcoming aircraft that is on the way, guys. I am so excited. So I'll tell you about it once we get the Vinyl 370 and we're approved along. We will do some chatting on that. But for now, let's enjoy the view of the airplane. Pmdgs 777-300. I do not fancy the 300. people be frown at me when they hear me say that, but I really don't care for the 300. I prefer the 200 version of the airplane, but it is not a bad plane nonetheless. Not a bad plane. Not a bad plane at all. I'm going to set it here just for a little bit, step away for just a couple of minutes, and we'll be right back as we come up to flight level 370. you're Superman and you're flying across the airplane, that would be something good to see. I guess you see it in the movies as well, where you're just looking at the passengers through the windows. And now again, because of GSX, we now have studio passengers, so you can see them right here. If I can get the camera to be set properly. There we go. Hey, what's going on, George? Happy New Year to you as well, bro. We made it to 2025. And so this bob and weave that's going on here is really similar to the way the aircraft. It doesn't stay, the aircraft just flies through the air, yes, but air movement is what we're flying through the air. So of course, the aircraft is not going to stay, you know, just one level all the time. So that's what that's going on right there. Welcome, 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 George. What's going on? How did you spend your New Year? Did you do your flight yet? Have you done your first flight for the New Year? Flight level 370. All right, guys. So we are cruising along, and look at this speed. We are at 636 across the ground. This is what we want to have if we were doing an overnight flight. Actually, matter of fact, I have another flight that I want to do this evening from Incheon, from Seoul to Anchorage, and I'm hoping I can get these kind of winds, so it will be a shorter flight than the 7 hours. That was a 12-hour flight from Charles de Gaulle to Seoul. So with these kind of speeds, I'm hoping I can get that once we leave Seoul and head across the Japanese airspace later on this evening. Let's see where we are. So we're cruising quick. We are almost halfway there, guys. Literally, we're flying. So that's really good. Alright, so let's talk. So what's happening in the sim world right about now? In the sim world, we have the A350, we have the 757, we have the A350 and 757. So how these work? The A350 was supposed to be for the 2024 sim. However, Inibils would have seen the light, is what I like to call it. They would have seen the light that we on the 2020 side is it's still a growing platform. It's the most stable, and I guess you can look at it like when 2020 came out in 2020, it had its teething issues where it just was not perfect, and I don't think anybody should think that 2024 should be perfect right off the bat. But it's gonna go through its changes to get to a stable version like what we have now for 2020. So I'm grateful that even though it's and the challenge that I'm having with most developers as well, let me rephrase that so it doesn't, that would not sound right. The challenge that most developers are having is that a software Microsoft would have said that you can have this backward compatibility with 2020 2024. However, as we've seen in many of those episodes gone by, that it's just not that. It's literally a new sim, a new platform. And so all these different things that you are bringing to the sim world, we're grateful for it, of course, but it really requires a whole lot more than just simply porting over from one to the next. So the Indigo's A350 was initially for 2020, and then they came out by saying it's going to only be for 2024, and then a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, then we heard that they're going to do an iteration for 2020, which makes it really good for us because at least we'll have a functioning wide-body Airbus for 2020. We have the Freeware Headwinds 339. That's what the flight that I took from Charles de Gaulle to Incheon. It's not bad. Of course, it could use a lot of more work, but We would really like to have something that is high fidelity, and the Inibels is known for that. I've also said it in the last stream that my only gripe with Inibels is that they pay so much attention to detail, which is not bad, but the optimization of the aircraft is what's lacking, because if you're flying a low-end PC, you literally would have to turn down everything in your systems just to fly the plane. I was on a 2060 RTX and it had only 6 gigabytes of virtual memory, and I couldn't fly the A300. I flew it on the stream the other day and I was fine, but couldn't fly the A300 simply because it was just taxing. It was taxing the GPU, which is not bad in the sense that that's what it should be. It should really tax the GPU versus the CPU, but it was just so much. It was just not optimizing up. And then you have things like the Phoenix, which is another pay-away aircraft that does extremely well. Once you turn that aircraft online, it gets going and it does pull some resources, but it does not pull near as much as the Inibels. So I'm really hoping that with the release of their Inibels that they are also listening to the public about optimization, because they are aware. It's not something that has not been said. They are aware that the aircraft does, or their airplanes are so heavily involved with the GPU that they should optimize it as far as possible. So we're hoping for that. We're excited about that. It's Q1 is when Q125 is when they're scheduled to release, and it's now 89 days remaining. If you want to talk about with 2020, with 2025 just opening, and we have Q1, 3 months is 90 days. So we have 89 days remaining before the release of this airplane. Of course, I'm pretty sure they're not going to wait until the end of Q1 to do that. So just being on the more cautious side, so we have 89 more days to wait. Hopefully we don't have to wait 89 more days, probably 10 more days. All right, give 10 days, that's fine. 10 days into the new year that we can get the A350. And I'll be ready to pick that up and put it on the stream, so we definitely have that. One of the things that I really like about it, or having the opportunity to fly something similar to it, is the A380. So Fly-by-Wire would have released the A380 last year, and that is a precursor in the real world to the A350. And so if you are a simmer and you have not picked up the Fly-by-Wire A380, you should, because that is going to give you a little insight as to what to expect with the A350 in terms of flying the aircraft and operating the McDo and so on. Because it is not like this. The smaller buses, you can literally just look and it's easy to fly. However, their FMC is totally different. Their MCD is totally different. It takes a little bit getting used to in terms of how you access the flight plan, how you access the whole idea of flying the airplane with the inputting the route and so on. It's different, and the Fly-by-Wire A380 will give you that little insight as how to do it. You can also view on the channel the A380 how to fly it, so if you're new to it, you can definitely check out the tutorial that is here on this channel. Next to the A350 releasing, we also have the 757, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. Once the 757 hits the market, rest assured that we will be doing streams upon streams in the 757. I try to make it a variety on the stream, but I can guarantee you that the 757 is my favorite aircraft, and we will be flying that. We're going to get to know that airplane. Bluebird Simulations would have been initially a freeware company, and these guys would have caught the high fidelity bug, and I'm glad they did too. So you can definitely have a good 757 for the system. They were supposed to release at the end of 2024, however they would have stated it's not ready yet and they're not rushing it. We don't want them to rush at all, but we want them to hurry up. We don't want them to rush, but we want them to do their work quickly and at pace, so that we can get a 757 in the sim environment. The 757 is a workhorse. It's one of the airplanes that definitely does quite a bit. American no longer flies them, Delta still flies them, Iceland Air still flies them, and they do some pretty good flights for a mid-range aircraft. You can do, for example, Delta does Paris from Raleigh Durham. So you can go from Atlanta to Raleigh, then Raleigh to Paris on a 757. Then you can also do Detroit to Iceland, Detroit to Dublin. You know, these nice flights that you could do. You know, a 767, of course, would be another one that you could use, but the 757 does some really good flights. You can fly up to 7-8 hours with the 757. So we're gonna stretch the wings, definitely, once that gets on board. We have a couple of flights we want to do as well. Some of the flights that I've done in the real world, where you go from Atlanta to Seattle, Atlanta to LA, even go Atlanta to New York, then New York to Detroit. Sorry. New York to Iceland, then Iceland to Detroit in the 757. Beautiful airplane, so we'll definitely get that on the way. That too will also be releasing for the 2020 environment. They made a promise to the community that they will eventually make a 757 for the 2024 environment, but they're going to be loyal to the 2020 simmers to make sure we have something in the sim that is well represented. And of course, when we eventually get to 2024, all the bells and whistles that comes along with that would definitely be available. So we're looking forward to that. We're definitely looking forward to that. Big things to happen in 2025 for the simulator fans. So we are definitely looking forward to all of those things. The 767 is also being done by the same company, Bluebird, and they would have just put out a set of, let me see if I can find it here on their Discord, but also on their Facebook page. They would have put that. Let me see if I can get the Facebook page or something to see what we're working with. Let's go Facebook. Go to Bluebird. So this is what they're doing right now. So we have the Bluebird simulations where they just released this right here. This was done 7 hours ago. So we have FedEx. So they're working on the freighter version as well. I think this is a 767 they had out. So this is the freighter version of the airplane. And it's really looking beautiful there. We're hoping to see this bad boy in this thing very, very soon. Very, very, very soon. See all these photos here. Rusty Martin's flying the 757. The 767. So they previewed this over here back in June of 2024. At the Expo. FS Expo, they would have made their debut, and so they showcased the 767, which is also what they're working on. So we're really grateful to see them doing something. Back in P3D days, you had things like Quality Wings 757. That was a pretty good airplane. And they also had the 787 as well. So we're hoping that the development. It's interesting because this is from since 2024 in February that they had this done. So I'm wondering how long these guys really are. It would be a dream come true if they were to come out and say, you know, they're releasing in the next 2 weeks or something like that. That would be excellent. I would be so overjoyed. I wouldn't want to go to work. I'd be so excited if like this airplane. But these are images from since back then, so they've probably done quite a bit, and so we're grateful for them to do that. So stay tuned to that, guys. We definitely see the 757 in the sim very, very, very soon. Last year, January flew by pretty quickly in 2024, so let's see if January is going to fly by the same way in 2025, which will just put us closer to their release. So that is some good stuff for the platform community. Alright, so let's check it out. We have 256 more miles to go. On top of the set it's at 86 miles, so let's now start doing a prep. With all that chatter, we have gotten closer. So our start today is going to be the Oshima 1 Alpha. And so what we're going to be doing is flying via the Oshima VOR. And the Oshima 1 Alpha takes us to Anzac. And we should cross Anzac at flight level at 13,000 at 230 knots. Then to Tango 450, 451, 452, 453 to Wanda at 13,000 to 30 knots, then to Wedge, then to Ireland. What we're probably going to do, since there's no ATC online, we're going to take it to Anzac at 13,000 and then go direct to Wedge, descend to 8,000, then to Ireland. Just so we can get in a little bit closer. We'll do that once we get to Anzac. So let's double check to make sure that we have that in our simulator right now. So we will begin our descent in 74 miles and we will cross Anzac at 13,230, and that is set to cross one at 15 as well. Wedge at 8,000, then Ireland at about 5,000. So we're going to check the weather once more. Our weather is saying in the arrival it is wind 330 at 3, so calm winds and straight down the runway, and we're going to runway 34. So just a slight crosswind, and of course winds are calm, 3 knots, so we're good to go. Visibility is pretty good. Then few clouds at 3,000, the temperature has risen to 8 degrees, and the QNH is 1016. So we'll set 1016 in the altimeter, so that's set. And now we will brief our approach. So we're going to be landing using the ILS Zulu, runway 34 left. And so the ILS Zulu, the final approach course is 337, the frequency 111.7, and the identifier is India Hotel Alpha. The final approach fix, or the approach fix, is Ireland, and that is 90 miles from the field, and we'll get the glide slope from 15 miles out, so we need to be fully configured by 15 miles out at Apollo. So we set this up in the FMC. We'll put a fix in the Hotel Alpha, and that is the frequency 111.7, and we want a 336, or is it 337? 337. And we'll put that at 25 miles. We put it at 25 miles. Then we have 337 at 19 miles. Then 337 at 16 miles. We could probably take out this one. You can probably delete the 19 miles. There we go. So we'll have that ring around, so we definitely be able to pace ourselves. So by the 25 mark, we should be at 230 or 210, and then slow down to our final approach speed by Apollo, which is at 50 miles. So we have that 60-mile mark. We should be fully configured by that intersection. All right, speaking about that, once we get on the approach, should we not see the runway if for whatever reason we have to go around? On this approach, climb to heading 330 to 500, then turn left to 4500. Then on the outbound via the Hotel Mike in the Haneda VOR on the radio 117 to Utibu, and we will hold and we will advise our area traffic on what our plan is for the return. So for this elevation is 18 feet, and between 360 and 180 the minimum sail altitude is 6,300 feet, and so we will be coming in on a 333, so we have clearance up to 2,500, so we should be good to go between that. No other threats are in the area, so to speak, so we will definitely be able to go straight in landing, and we'll be good to go. The decision height is 218, so we'll put that in the setting up here. Scroll all the way down to 218. Oh, gone too far. There we go, 218. Once we get to the airport, we'll touch on a runway 34 left, and we should be able to land with an exit of either L12 or L13. We can run our performance tool en route and import runway 34 left. If this would work with me. Auto brake 1, reverse is all operational, import the weather, finish 1016, and we will calculate. So we have minimum distance of 9,843, landing distance of 7,231 is required. So if we land, we should be able to exit off of L12 or L13. So we will set level 1, and the FMC is screening us to change our altitude. So we'll set now to 13,000. And we'll begin our arrival short. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We are just about to start our descent into the Haneda area. Current weather is winds coming out of the north-northwest. Calm winds. Temperature is now 8 degrees, and visibility is pretty good. So there's a few clouds in the air, so pretty fair weather. Once again, thank you for choosing Japan Airlines with all of your choices of travel. We hope to see you on a future flight. Flight attendants, prepare the aircraft for arrival. Alright, cool. So that's already set. We can now, our checklist is going to be descent. So recall is checked, note checked, auto brake number 1, landing ref is 140. And minimums is 219, and that is set. Approach meeting is completed. Reset checklist is complete. Heading to traffic, Japan 304, auto flight number 3704130 on the Oshima 1 Alpha arrival. Heading to traffic. we are doing well. Is we have enough space in between us, so we don't have to worry about that. We just have flight level 370, descending to now flight level 340, descending at 4,000 feet per minute. Pretty decent. And so we should be fine descending to 130. I believe it is 140 here still. The altimeter, the transition level is 140. Let's see. Yep. So at 140 we'll change it to the local altimeter of 106. Is that a volcano over there? Probably is. Not sure, but this almost looks like a volcano on the outside there. Enjoying the 777-300 from Pmdg. There's some traffic in the area, so we are definitely have to make our announcements as we come through. So we'll be making those announcements as we descend into Radeon. If you look pretty closely on the engine, you will see the engine is wobbling just a bit, and that actually happens in real life. So I'm glad that Pmdg actually modeled that on the 777. I don't think I see it on the 737s though, but alright. Drag required. We're going to allow the aircraft to drag it to drag itself just a bit. We're coming down to flight level 250. They're pretty high, so we'll allow the aircraft to continue descending to 1,300. 13,000 rather. So the aircraft will slow itself down eventually. The aircraft does have a tendency to get away from you if you're not on top of it, but we're going to allow it to do that. It has its own protection, so we will allow the aircraft to slow itself down, because we would not want to bust through 250 knots below 10,000. But the crossing restriction is 230 at 3,000. So we'll allow the aircraft to work itself through. And as you see here, it just reduced it very percent down to 1,600 feet per minute. So it'll be all right. that a crater down there? Yeah. Interesting. Those guts on the side here looks, yeah, that looks like a crater. Alright, so like we said guys, what we're gonna do to kind of save us a little bit of flight track miles is that we're going to go direct to from Anzac. We're gonna fly direct to Wedge, skipping out Wanda and go direct to Wedge. So that kind of just skips out us doing that little DME curve to come back around. Not really busy, so that should be fine. We just definitely make our announcements into Radeon. Alright, descend down through 170 for 13,000. Radeon traffic, Japan 304 descending through flight level 160 for 13,000 at Anzac. At Anzac, direct Wedge down to 8,000, then via the Islas Zulu runway 34 left approach. Radeon traffic. So 49 minutes in flight, and we are now on the approach. The star rather, the approach is going to be further down here. We're on the star, coming to Anzac, descending through 14,900. So we're doing pretty good on our approach. On descent. Okay, so let's check this out now. So we now have 85 miles to go. Let's now check this out. We're gonna move Wedge right after Anzac, and that is now gonna give us 50 miles to go. So we just cut out 30 miles of flying. So the aircraft is going to slow itself down now. Now we can actually give it some assistance with the speed brakes. So we can get the aircraft down. And if we were flying on this flight for real, we look right across there, and that's also one of the volcanoes in Japan. Alright, we are. So we're coming down 230 and get down to 13,000 feet. We will continue our descent down to 8,000. Once crossing flight level 140, we will then set to the local altimeter of 1016. Over Anzac, now flying direct to Wedge, down to 8,000 feet. Down below flight level 140, and we're now on the local altimeter of 1016. Approach checklist. Altimeter is 1016. Check. Miles from Wedge, so we're going to continue we're going to do a speed intervention, and we're going to slow the speed down now to 210. 220 initially, then we'll slow down to 210 so that we can be closer to our approach speed. We don't want to let the aircraft fly too much ahead of us. Once below 10,000 feet, we now turn on our exterior lights. We will leave the runway turn off and taxi lights once we get our clearance for a landing. Wing lights also go on. Nine miles from Wedge, flow to 210. Heading traffic, Japan 304, descending through 9,704, 8,000 at Wedge, then make left base join the localizer for runway 34 left, heading traffic. So you can switch to the next chart now, which is the approach. Alice Zulu 3. So we get to Ireland at 5,000, so we descend after Wedge down to 5,000. We want to make sure that we are flying slower so that we won't be too far off, because the distance between 25 and 16 is very short. So we're going to slow down to 200 knots. And continue our descent down to 8,000. Get some speed brakes in to help us slow down. Cabin is ready. Airplane is going to level off at 8,000, and then it will continue to descend. To cross Ireland at 5,000. VNAV path. Alright. And so we are now going to slow down to 190 and flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. And then the traffic, Japan 304, descending to 5,000 to cross Ireland. Join the localizer, runway 34 left. Heading the traffic. Speed to 180, and we will have speed brakes out. Laps 5, speed check. Just waiting for the localizer to become active on the HSI. Alright, localizer is alive and let's park, and it's captured. And beacon on the airport. Continue to send on the 5,000 feet, and we're 18 miles out, so we will make our announcements. Adding the traffic. Japan 304 heavy. 18 miles on the localizer, runway 34 left. We'll call fully established for runway 34 left. Heading the traffic. Alright, good. So we are now at 180, and we're gonna go ahead now and reduce. Maintain 5,000 feet. Be here. I think we should be descending. We should get the climate at Apollo. So let's descend down to 4,000. And there we have it. So you see, this is why we have to make sure we're behind the aircraft. Now landing gear down, because it came right up at Apollo. So we'll slow to our final approach speed and extend flaps as usual. Oh, I see. Flaps 15. Trying to figure out why my auto brake was not armed a while ago. I guess because it was that flat 5 and that's still so high. Alright, so flaps 15, flaps 20, speed check. Flaps 25. And flaps 30. Handling the traffic, pan 304. 11 mile final on the ILS runway 34 left. Handling the traffic. Alright, so we're just waiting for flaps to get to 30. We are fully ready. ILS runway 34 left. That looks beautiful for a picture. Alright, picture taken done. Let's get prepared. Landing checklist. Landing checklist is almost complete. Landing checklist complete. Where's the land? Let's have our landing lights on. And we're ready to go. At 7 miles, we will make a final announcement for landing runway 34. Check. Clear the traffic. Japan 304, 7 mile final, runway 34 left. Hand it up. So my friend in the Skymarks 737 would have done the full arrival, which would give us enough space for the arrival. He's on the the DME are coming around to runway 34 that. Alright, let's see if we can grease this landing today. On the first stream of the year, let's see if we can grease. Let's get the Terminal 1 is where we're going to go. So on the, let's see where Terminal 1 is. Terminal 1 is here. Alright, so we make a right after we land. We were supposed to also check the routing.
I need traffic, Denmark 4 overhead, high hold 4000, JAL304 left. Need a traffic.
Alright, so we're good to go. We can actually land and make an, okay, so we can make a right after. Cool. Alright, winds are calm, so we can hand fire the aircraft after 500 feet. And let's see how well we do. 1000 check. Land 3. Feet, my airplane. Very small corrections, you don't want to overcorrect.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue. Or landing in this case.
100.
Okay.
50. 30. 20. 10.
And we are down. 3 brakes up. Auto brakes. 2 reverse. Descent. Manual braking. And we are on the ground, guys. Make an exit off of this taxiway here. Make a right all the way to the end. And we can stop the timer. 1 hour and 6 minutes flight time. And we can clean up the aircraft.
I need a traffic, Denmark 4, 5 mile final, runway 34 left. I need a traffic.
Air traffic, Japan 304, cleared of runway 15, correction 1, cleared of runway 34. Alright, so we are gonna cross based on this. We can go cross. we will taxi down via Alpha, then go to Whiskey 9, and then to the gates. Let's choose a gate. Terminal 1. And we're going to spot, let's see. Let's see what spots we can go to. Alright. Let's go to spot 15. Just closer by. So Whiskey 9 to spot 15. APU, and we can take off our landing lights. When we turn off lights, the handling lights can come off once we're on the taxi. After landing checklist, let's slow the taxi to see our Skymark land. Oh, there he is. Yes, sir. Find myself on here. Oh, there we go. Alright, so the next two taxiways, or the next taxiway is what we're going to turn on. Whiskey 9.
Any traffic sped Mark 4 clear runway 3 4 left. Any traffic.
Where's the terminal? That's weird. Wow. Let's see this. There's no terminal, guys. That's weird. I have no terminal. That's interesting. We have no terminal, guys, but we will still park. That is weird. see if she's gonna dance for us. Parking brakes are set. We have APU and we can start the flight. See, 1 hour and 32 minutes. I parked a bit too far, man. Oh wow. Alright, so let's do the GSX thing and we'll deboard.
The boarding requested.
Japan Air. Seatbelt signs can come off and we can turn hydraulic pumps and we can come. All right, guys, so there we are. We are in Tokyo, Haneda. I have no idea what's going on with the scenery, and we got to do a little investigation where that is concerned. However, we're here. We are here, and so we are great. The landing rate was minus 198, so not a bad landing rate for the first landing for 2025. Not a bad landing rate at all. So we are happy for that. We are really happy for that. Guys, if you haven't already done so, really appreciate it if you would like. If you like the content, please consider leaving a like. It would definitely do the channel pretty good. And of course, subscribe and ensure that you click the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time we go live. It is always a pleasure to be here with you on a flight out of the simulator here on the Aviator 268 channel. Until the very next time, once again, Happy New Year. It is the 1st of January 2025, and wishing you all things good, all things well. And of course, like we always say on the channel, make sure you take care of yourself. Until the next time, guys, see you later. Bye-bye.